The first time I saw her, the universe outside my starship looked like shattered glass. Streaks of nebulae, bright shards of color, and the slow burn of collapsing stars were a canvas to the strange, aching loneliness that had become my life. I was a deep space cargo pilot, contracted to run solo hauls between distant colonies where most wouldn't bother to go. 1,000 light-years from home, Earth was little more than a fading memory. I was on the return leg from Vega 9 when the distress signal hit my console. It was faint, almost buried in static, but repeating on an old universal frequency. Most signals like that were debris, ghosts from derelict crafts bouncing around until they finally faded. Still, protocol demanded investigation. I dropped out of Slipstream and traced the origin. What I found wasn't debris. Floating just beyond a fractured asteroid belt was a vessel, sleek, silver, and unlike anything I'd seen before. Its hull shimmered faintly with an organic texture, as though it wasn't made but grown. And it was alive. I docked carefully, my hands trembling slightly. The moment my airlock sealed, the alien ship responded like it had been waiting. Its hatch peeled open like the petals of a flower. That was when I saw her. She stepped forward with fluid grace, tall, slender. Her skin an iridescent silver that caught the dim starlight. Her eyes, impossibly large, glowing violet, locked onto mine. For a second, I thought I had hallucinated her. "My name is Seraphine," she said, her voice smooth, layered with echoes as though multiple tones spoke at once. "I need your help." I had trained for a lot of things. Engine malfunctions, pirate ambushes, even contact with unknown species. But nothing prepared me for what she asked next. "I want you to be my husband," she said softly, her glowing gaze steady. "Just for tonight." The beginning of her request. I laughed nervously, assuming I'd misunderstood her translator. "Husband. Look, lady, I think something got scrambled. You need medical help. Supplies." But Seraphine shook her head. I chose the word carefully. "It is what I require. A companion. Protector. Just for one cycle of your world's night." My mind raced. Was this some kind of ritual? A cultural formality? Or worse, a trap? She must have seen the suspicion on my face, because she placed her hand against her chest and bowed her head slightly. The gesture seemed ancient, almost human. "I mean you no harm. But without your consent, my mission ends here. And with it, my people's last hope." I hesitated, then motioned her aboard my ship. "All right. Start from the beginning. Who are you really, and what do you mean by husband?" We sat in the galley. She avoided the food I offered, but her eyes roamed curiously over the steel surfaces, the humming panels, the little relics of Earth I carried with me. Finally she spoke. "My species is known as the Lyrathi. We live far beyond the map sectors. Long ago we realized our kind was dying, our numbers dwindling, our bodies weakened by cosmic radiation. To survive, we sought a bond with another intelligent race. Not conquest, not assimilation. A bond." She lifted her gaze to me, violet eyes burning with something I couldn't name. "We discovered your kind. Humans. Compatible in ways none of us expected. My task was to find one of you, a single soul willing to share the ritual that binds. It is not forever, not chains. Just one night. One symbolic union. And that makes me your husband." "Yes. Only for the span of the ritual," she whispered. "After that, you may return to your path. But without it, I cannot return home. My people will perish." It sounded absurd, and yet her desperation was undeniable. I should have refused. But alone in the void, haunted by years of silence, something in her plea stirred me. "All right," I said finally. "I'll hear more. What does this ritual involve? The middle, the union of stars. That night, or what passed for night aboard my ship, we performed the ritual. She led me back to her vessel, into a chamber that pulsed with living light. The walls were translucent, veins of bioluminescence pulsing like the inside of a great organism. In the center, a circular platform rose from the floor. "Step here," she instructed gently. I obeyed, though my heart thundered. She joined me, standing so close I could feel an odd warmth radiating from her skin. Then the chamber responded, tendrils of soft light weaving upward to encircle us both. "Close your eyes," she said. When I did, I felt her hands take mine. Then came a rush, images flooding my mind. Her world, vast oceans that glowed beneath twin moons, crystalline cities rising like sculptures, and her people, tall, luminous beings, standing in sorrow, weakened and fading. Then she showed me myself, my memories, my loneliness drifting between stars with only silence for company. I saw it from her perspective. The ache in my chest, the yearning for connection I never admitted. "This is the bond," she whispered in my mind. "Not flesh, not possession. It is the sharing of truth soul to soul. Husband and wife, just for tonight." I couldn't speak. Tears stung my eyes as her memories mingled with mine. I felt her fear, her determination, her burden to save her people. And in turn, she felt my endless wandering, the hollow ache of an earth I would never return to. Hours or moments time had no meaning, passed in that union. When the chamber finally dimmed, I collapsed, trembling. She knelt beside me, her hand resting lightly on my cheek. "It is done," she said softly. "You have given me what I needed. The bond is sealed. My people will endure." And then she kissed me. Not like a human kiss, there was no pressure, no lips meeting. Instead, it was a breath of warmth, an exchange of light, a touch that left me shuddering with a strange, sweet ache. The ending, after the night. Morning, or what passed for morning on my ship, came too quickly. I woke alone in my cabin, half convinced it had all been a dream. But when I stepped into the galley, Seraphine was there, gazing out the viewport at the distant stars. "You're leaving," I said quietly. She turned to me, her violet eyes glowing softer now. "Yes, my vessel is restored. The bond gave me strength to continue. With it, I can return to the Lyrathai and ensure our survival." I swallowed hard. "And me? What happens to me now?" She walked toward me, every step graceful, deliberate. She reached up, brushing her fingers against my temple. A flicker of light passed from her touch. "You carry part of me now, just as I carry part of you. Whenever the loneliness comes, you will feel me, faint as a whisper, reminding you that you are not alone in the dark." My chest tightened. "I don't want this to be just one night." Her smile was sorrowful. "Nor do I. But some bonds exist only to light the path, not to hold it forever. If I stayed, I would break you from your course. If you came with me, you would die in my world's atmosphere. This is the only way." I wanted to argue, to demand she stay. But deep down I knew she was right. At the docking bay, I watched as her ship sealed itself around her like a living cocoon. The vessel pulsed with renewed energy, vibrant where it had once seemed dim. She gave me one last look through the translucent hull, her eyes meeting mine across the gulf. Then, with a burst of radiant light, she was gone. Silence returned. The galaxy stretched endless and cold before me. But I was not the same. The bond lingered, a warmth inside me, an echo of her voice whispering in the corners of my mind.